Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Whatever time you're watching this, as always, thanks for watching Common Sense Fishing. Those of you joining us live tonight, thank you very much. And if you're watching this at a later time, thank you as well. And please consider smashing that subscribe and like button. Now, for today's show, we're going to be having our March members giveaway. So anyone who's a member of the channel gets automatically entered as long as they show up tonight. Do have to be present as far as at least here for part of the video, and you have to comment. We'll hold that later on. The members know how this goes, but if you're new here, that's how we do our giveaways when we do members. We also do subscriber giveaways, but this month we're doing a members only. To say thank you to the members, they get a giveaway every month as part of their membership. So we're going to be doing that tonight. I'm going to be talking about how fishing's been for me the last week or so, and my plans for tomorrow. I don't know. I think I'm gonna. What do you guys and gals think? We'll ask you more about that. We'll tell you more about that and then ask you again later. What do you guys think? I kind of tell you the two things that I'm leaning on. I'm torn 50-50. So the question is going to be to fish or not to fish. So there's a BBT tournament coming up tomorrow that my original partner just didn't really want to fish it. And hey, Marco. And also my secondary partner kind of fell through. And so it's last resort. Which actually I love him very much, but my son is actually a pretty good fisherman. So I was thinking about taking him. Only problem is this is a BBT tournament. The buy-in alone is $250. So added on top of that gas, we're looking at $350. It is a $400 tournament. I don't really have that kind of money to spend right now. So it's like, do I just do it anyways for good times with the kid? And potential shot at winning for sure, and go for gold, or do I be fiscally smart and save my money for another day and save it maybe for a smaller tourney club? So that's what I'm kind of mulling over. It's like my son, I'd like to take him to the smaller tournaments that are 30, 40 boats. This tournament's going to be massive. There's going to be 100 and something boats. There's going to be a lot of sticks there. There's going to be some big fish caught. I probably don't have a chance of even getting in the top 5, let alone the top 20 and collecting a check or something. It's going to be super brutal. There's going to be a lot of dudes, I think, that are going to come in with some decent bags, or there's just a lot of good teams out there. Me and my son fish great together. We go have a good time, and we always catch fish together. That's for sure. But are we going to catch them like that is the question. And then, so if not, then why spend the 250? Well, $400 probably. So that's the question I got to mull over. Yeah, exactly. Create memories. So I got to figure out if I can afford it. Got to look at things and just see if I really want to do this. I'm going to look at a couple other tournaments and see if there's anything coming up that I can take my son to and still do a tournament and not like have to spend $500. So it's crazy. Like the BBT buy-in's nuts. It's like $170 or more. Expensive, man. I mean, it is if your good memories go to for the day. I get it, but we fish all the fish tournaments before. So what's another tournament? I mean, that's a lot. So I have to crunch that and excuse me, think about it, because I was supposed to fish this weekend. So if not, I'll go fun fish. But I'm like, man, that sucks. And I would. I mean, I'd be down to take my son too. So it's just that's a lot of money to spend right now for what I've got available. You know. Hey, Ronald Roquemore, good evening. Appreciate you on tonight. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. But to give you guys a clue on what's going on over here on the West Coast, so if you're in a different state, this may not to you. It just depends. Each state by state. But when that water hits the mid 50s, upper 50s, you're into March or so, and you get that first full moon when you're, upper 50s, close to 60-degree mark. You're usually going to start to see the fish, creating their beds, starting to sit on them. All the big ones will start pulling up. This is it. It's time. So, but each spot and each lake and each state and each weather area has its own individual patterns. and things going on. So, for example, here in the mother lode, we're going to have a rain system come in actually Saturday. And it looks like the high for the day during the tournament is going to be 51 degrees. So it was 75 the day before. It's going to be 51. Then it's going to be like 68 the next, and then 75. So we're on an extreme dip. And then most systems, most fronts, when they come in, the dip is kind of gradual, where you're say you're in 80 degrees, then you're in 72, then you're in 65, then you're in that 54, 55, whatever, right? 50 of raining, and it stays there a day or two, and then it comes up, and now you're in the 60s. Next day you're in the 75s. You can see some big jumps, but to go from almost 80 degrees, to go from 70 something degrees down to 51, back up to 70 something degrees within a 3 day span is crazy. How is the sack trip? Yeah, missed you. Sorry. So I'll tell you about that one. Yeah, so Dave took me to the Kings game, had a blast at the Kings game. They almost won. It was a tough loss. They did great. It was a good game. Nail biter at the end there. A lot of fouls. That's what I noticed. And then when you watch the replays, it's apparent like half of them aren't even fouls. You're like, what the hell? Hey, JP Fraga, how's it going? Good evening. Nice to see you on tonight. So, we didn't know. I didn't know like there were that many. It was nuts. It was worse than like, and then I understand they go savage. They go 100%. So they got like so many timeouts. You don't really see that, I don't think, as much when you're watching it on TV. They each got mad timeouts. So like every 10 minutes it's break. So it's cool. Plenty, you can drink plenty of beer, get food, whatever, conversate with your neighbors. It was a fun game. They get down. Um, Fresno, I think arena is a little bit bigger, the Save Mart arena. I want to go watch the monster trucks there. But yeah, it was cool. So I got to go watch a Kings game, had a great time with Dave. So shout out to No Limit. That's actually No Limit. So No Limit Off Road, one of the members here. He took me out. So that was awesome. I got to meet, I think, him and his wife, or, they took me to the Kings game, bought me a hamburger. It was awesome. So, I mean, I had a blast this weekend, or this week at Sacramento. But the day before, Wednesday, when I was probably going to meet up with you, right? Well, when I was going to meet up with you on Wednesday, when you hit me up like 9 something, so I pulled into Sac around like 6, and then I took all this food and all this stuff up there with me so I could just save a little bit of money. And I forgot a bowl and spoon. So I was like, because they have microwaves, so I brought soups, I brought other stuff. So I didn't have to spend money on lunch and breakfast and all that. And I brought a little, because it was a state trip. So they were paying me every day. So that's just extra money in my pocket. So I'm like, screw it, I'll take some food from the house. So I didn't have a bowl and spoon, so I had to go buy one. Next thing you know, I had a beer or two. I'm like, I was out by like 7:30, dude, straight snoring on the bed out. I needed a good night's sleep like that. I haven't, as far as just, I've been working like 18 hours a day some of these days, or even when I get decent sleep, it's just been brutal, because there'll be all kinds of stuff going on. I got puppies, I got dogs. So it's like having a baby, having a new kid. You got to get up twice in the night, let them out, because they're actually potty trained, and they'll tell you. So they'll shut right up, go to bed, then they'll wake up and they'll yip. You open up the kennels, they don't really yip anymore. They run straight to the door. You let them out, they go potty, and then they come straight in, go right back to their kennels, lay down, and then like 2-3 hours or 4 hours later. So we just got to watch. We make sure we don't feed them too much close to bedtime. So, anyways, yeah, it's been a crazy few weeks. It was good Wednesday to just crash out from like 7 o'clock until. So that was how my week went. I've been doing some heating and air conditioning calls, and then this weekend did some stuff up in Sacramento with the state for contractor stuff. So I'm not supposed to talk about it too much, but yeah. So we had a good time, and it was a fun little quiet trip. I got to go to my old house and also my old high school that I went to. So I used to go to Luther Burbank High School for a year in Sac, and I also lived, right by the Florin Mall, right off of 47th Street and 47th Ave, right by like 47th and Stockton, downtown or not downtown, right in the ghetto of down in the southern Sac in Florin Road area, basically. So it was cool. I had a good year there, so I got to go check out some of my old stomping grounds, some good old memories. And then went to the hotel, passed out. So I was out. I was out like a light bulb. But fishing though, I got 2 videos coming out. So I don't know if the members, I just put one out for you guys. You guys always get early access. So I just put a new video out. I'm in the process of making 2 more, so I'm gonna make those tonight. Hey, RC Creative. Lost my OG member status. Sky Park Mob. Yep. Sky Park. I drove right by Sky Park. Elder Creek. Yep. I lived on Marburn. So Nicholas Park was right there by my house. Sky Park was there. I used to walk to the back of the Florin Mall all the time. Right. And then it was crazy when I went to go visit my old house. The lady that I knew across the street was still there. I was like, "You guys lived in the apartments behind the mall?" Nice. See, I used to, yeah, I used to, I used to just roll through those, cut through those. There's a little creek behind those. Even there's 2 of them. There's a big creek, and then there's a small little like cement canal, like type creek. And I forget which one, but we used to take one and then make a turn off, and it would get us to the mall super quick from where we live. Um, yeah, Sacramento was fun. So it was crazy. Got some good memories and just not really too many bad ones, like maybe one, but mostly it's a lot of fun there. When we were in class, a little quick story before we get to fishing. When I was in class in Sacramento, I made a group of friends real quick there, and we used to hang out. And like when you ditch, you get caught, right? A lot of the time, we just get caught coming in. Sometimes not a lot, but they were just good at catching you no matter how you tried to come in. They had a lot of groundsmen, so they seen a kid jumping the fence. So it's hard to leave campus and then come back on. So you had to ditch for the whole day. And then when you ditched for the whole day, you got busted a lot easier, right? So what we used to do is when there were classes that we didn't like, it's like, yeah, I don't like my English class. Well, I don't like my math class, or oh, I hate my science class, right? So we'd all meet up, and it was usually I think the first 2 or no, the so you go 8, 9, 10. So then the first break to lunch, and then we come back after lunch, I think it was. So we would do 10 to 12 and then stay off at lunch and then come back to class at like 12:31, whatever it was. And so we were able to ditch like a couple classes we didn't like. And the way we did it is we climbed up. I even came up with the idea is there's this tree that has these real low branches and it's super easy, but it's massive. It's as old as the school. So it's like the OG eucalyptus tree there, but it's been topped. So it's not a tall, skinny tree. It's all like super bushy and it has mad leaves, right? So I climbed up in there one day and just ditched. When I had a bad day, I was pissed. And then when I seen one of my friends below the tree, I dropped a cigarette on him. And they looked up and I was like, "What's up?" And he goes, "No way." When no one was looking, scampered right up. And I told him about how I come up and ditch in the tree. Next thing you know, for I'd say about 4 to 6 months, you have a group of people anywhere from like 3 to 6 hanging out in a tree, drinking beer and smoking cigarettes and things on campus in like the 10th grade. Just real like we were we were crazy because they were good at getting us if you went off campus. So they would be like flustered because they'd see that we were here at 8 in the morning, and then they'd see we didn't report for a couple classes, and then they see we were back, and they could never catch us leaving school. And it took until the winter time when the tree started thinning. It's an evergreen, I think, so I don't think that the leaves ever fully fell off, or maybe they did. I don't remember, but um, it just got to a point where it was really hard to hide. And so one day someone saw us up there. We used to laugh and make fun of them like you did. People would look around, like, what the hell? What? It was funny. We had a good time. So Ditching in a tree. True story. Anyways, so fishing has been kind of slow and then good. It's been good for a lot of my friends. So let's just say that it's turned on. But for me, because I haven't been in like say like a week, maybe 5 6 days, and then a couple times, and then it's been a while. As far as like not to me a while is that I go 2 3 days, 2 or 3 times a week if I can. So when I go once a week, that's a while. So I don't like when it's once a week and then once a week and then maybe twice a week. I try to go 2 or 3 times, but obviously got to work, got family, got life. So, anyways, the fishing is with all this weather up and down. The fishing has been hard to figure out for better fish, for bigger fish. There's been days where I've caught numbers, but not size. They're all males. I couldn't find like a single female, which means I was fishing in the wrong target depth and also probably with the wrong lures. And then a couple days I caught some nice chunky females, but I couldn't catch a good numbers and nothing too big. But then there was days that were kind of a mix where it wasn't many fish, not too many size, maybe one or two, then a bunch of males. It's been kind of a struggle really trying to put them together. But I've also got a lot of friends who fish, and I've been also focused on the mother load. So McClure and New Maloney's to be exact. McClure Don Pedro is just way too expensive. I don't know. I'll go there for like the Ed Lacey tournament. I'll be there. But I'm not going to go up there just for fun. Most likely not unless there's a specific reason to be up there. But yeah, I mean, if I got a tournament, pre-fish stuff like that, I'll go. But that dang entry fee is just getting me $35 for a truck and boat. It's like it's insane on top of gas prices, everything else that's going on, and they want to do that. It's like nuts. So yeah, it's crazy. So I know New Maloney's is only $10 to get in still. I'm surprised they haven't changed their price yet. Um, McClure is still 15 right now. I'm hearing that's going to change, but even then, it's only going to be 20. I'm going to get season passes for these lakes. I'm tired of this shit, but that's going to be the idea. Um, but I've heard from friends fishing is turning on. So look for these bass to be right near where they should be spawning, but not. The females aren't really on beds yet. The males are starting to move up, fan beds, select areas, kind of kill off whatever's in that area, chase it off. There are a lot of small ones between 1 and 1.5 pounds that you're going to find up there. You might find an occasional big girl, but the girls will most likely be a few feet deeper, and look for them to be holding up next to trees, rocks, laydowns, the trees sticking up vertical or the laydowns horizontal, boulders along like a pebble path or like a transition. So you got like what would look like some nice spawning flats where there'll probably be some males sitting up there. And then all of a sudden it goes to like some chunk rock. That's probably where the female will be. So, and also a little deeper usually, not always. And this is also the time of year. Don't put yourself in a box. One thing that obviously works is a bottom bouncer because they're spawn, they're going to be keyed in on beds. However, this is also the time you can catch a big old fat mama because you got to understand they come in waves, right? So the first wave is there's going to be a wave after that and then a wave after that. So to spawn for a month or two. So the usually the biggest ones come up first, but there'll still be some nice bass that'll start staging while there's a few that are already up there. So there's always different ways to pick them off for the next like 2 months. Numbers, it's going to obviously be easier with things like Ned rigs, drop shot, shaky head, stuff like that. If you see them on the bed, go ahead and have fun, right? Especially if it's a big girl. But when you, let me see here. What's up, boss? I'm just chilling. Oh no, I forgot. Shoot, I've been burned out. Damn, the skimpy bag won it. Well, hey, I'm doing my live stream right now, but Like there's a tournament tomorrow. I might fish with my son, but I might not because that thing's expensive. It's the BBT at Maloney's. Yeah, 250, man. Plus gas in the truck and boat. That's no joke, man. That's $400 right there. Right? Yep. Yeah, exactly. So that's where I'm like, I might go, but I don't know. So I'm doing the live stream. Let me hit you up later, boss. Or let me know. All right, bye. Sorry, folks. I was talking to a cool dude there that I fish with. He watches too, so I wouldn't be surprised if you don't pop on in a minute. But anyways, fishing has been a little rough, but it's also, like I said, it's starting to turn good. This is that time when it's going to be good. It should be getting good. But anyways, tonight's video is going to be kind of short and sweet. We're going to give you some really good tips. I'm going to focus on about a 10-minute section of that, of this video dedicated for that. And then we're going to do the giveaway. And hey, no limit. Yeah, that Kings game was awesome. Thanks, brother. But then what we're going to do is we're going to give the best tips and tricks that I can for like a 10-15 minute stretch. Then we're going to do the giveaway, and I got to go. We got date night with the wife tonight. We're going to Stockton to see Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy. So a comedy show. So I'm looking forward to get out, have some fun with this whole coof crap. The last 2 years being stuck inside, things like that Kings game, and I know it was awesome. So it's always good to have some fun. So me and the wife gonna go have a date night. So that's why I popped on a little early tonight too. Usually, me, we're on at 7 to 9. So we're gonna get this show on the road and have a fun night. And then I got to get out of here. So wish me luck. If I go fishing tomorrow, I still haven't made my mind up, but we'll think about it. Um, I'll let you guys know. Obviously, you'll hear about it on the next live stream on Monday. There's a couple videos coming out, so pay attention for those. And all right, let's get into it. So, best tips that I can is looking towards the backs of creeks. So, if you're fishing places like McClure, also think about the shoreline of the creek. So Piney Creek is a good creek, but at the same time, right now there's a lot of vertical wall. There's some good spots for the fish to spawn way in the back, and then there's a bunch of great spots on the mouth of Piney, and then there's a little cove on the left, and also there's another little cove by the island right there. So there's some good spawning spots over there, but Piney's really steep. Cotton has got a lot of spawning flats in it as well. Temperance, but Temperance is pretty much main lake right now. And well, the lake's going up, but Horseshoe Bend is probably where most of the numbers were at. And if you're somewhere like, New Maloney's, I would expect some to maybe be in Coyote Creek, but a lot of the walls are real steep there. So what you're going to want to do, like Angels Creek, is got some nice shallow flats in it. There's that flat along the dam that I love to fish. There'll be some good fish, even though that's main lake that'll be pulling up on that. There's some islands and some stuff in the South Lake too, down by like Bear Creek area down there, I think it is. And, some of the stuff down there is all right for spawn as well. But I would expect the majority of the nice fish and numbers to be moving and pushing in towards creeks, but look for spawning flats. So if you look at your map or you look at a lake and you're like, where am I going to go fish right now in the next few months? Whether you're in the East Coast, West Coast, whether you're in Florida, look at the map, look at the north end of the lake, usually is the first one to turn on, or the shallowest end of the lake, right? And whatever's going to have the warmest water. Then find those creek arms, long creek arms, and those that are going to have water coming in through there, snow melt, rain, runoff, stuff like that, right? So a big enough creek arm. And or also drains as well work on the main lake if they're big enough. But you're going to want to look for stuff like that, and then find what would appear to be the spawning areas. So the flats and the shallows that aren't where the shore drops off like this, but where the shore kind of tapers out. Find those areas with hard bottom. Big bass will also spawn in some crazy areas. So you may have some vertical crap and then a nice boulder or rock, and it's at the perfect water level. You might have a mondo spawning on that. They'll do some weird stuff. So it doesn't hurt when this time of year to just cruise shoreline and look. And then when you find your fish, go for them. But I have a rule of thumb of fishing like that. I don't get too close. I don't get too much in their face. There's a saying, and the way I consider is if you can see the fish, they can see you. So I go and I'll cruise around. I'll look for them. If I spot them, I do a big circle. I fish from a little bit farther away, and I tend to fish by feel, or I look for the flash. Because when a fish is on its top, you'll see it's dark green, black, right? It'll blend in with the bottom. When it rolls, you'll see the white underbelly because they're that shallow, right? And so that's either it biting your bait or it's it doing a spawning thing, right? When they're rolling around on the bed, then you can, there's a fish there, and then you can go for them. But again, if you can see the fish, they can see you. But when you see the fish roll, they can't see you. That they're deep enough, they can't see you. You're just seeing because there's so much of that white, and they're maybe in 3 to 5 feet of water. But in general, though, if you can see a fish just swimming or sitting on a bed, like without rolling, without the white, if you can actually spot that fish, that fish can most likely see you. So if you find bed fishing to be troublesome or hard, one of the tips I'd suggest is just try backing off and blind fishing. Find a shore line that is flat, that has got hard bottom, and then pull off and just start casting right up in 1 inch of water and working it back. And you'll actually catch a lot of fish doing that. But there could be a 10 that and you're catching 1-pounders all around it. So it does help to spot one and then do a circle and come back and just use landmarks or shoreline structure. So okay, that fish is right there, and then go back, give it a few minutes, and then start fishing. In my opinion, you'll have a much. So other tips and tricks are fishing, and you're in a tournament trying to win via numbers, and you think it's going to be a tough one, or you're just trying to cut a check and do decent, or at least get your 5 in the bag, and you're not worried about that big 5 bite. 4-pound and below are really easier to catch on things like a Ned rig, drop shots, shaky head, something finesse, Nico, right? You'll catch a lot of numbers, but it's harder to control a big 10-pound, 8-pounder, a big old giant fish if it grabs your bait like that. That's why jigs, I like to use a jig, but sometimes they short strike them. So that's also shout out to Jig Sucking Lips. They do make Bijan bumblebee jigs, right? They do make jigs without a weed guard. So when the bass bites, it's almost like a giant Ned rig. You kind of just lift up hard and start reeling. You don't have to load up and set the hook. So the weed guard doesn't interfere or doesn't even slow the hook down at all, not one bit. So you can just immediately, when you get bit, you can put the hammer down. And if you're using nice, equipment and fluorocarbon, you're going to feel every little nick, right? You don't need to have that little stuff, but a jig is a great way to kind of try to get the big one to eat and catch the 2-3-pounders and 1-pounders. But if there's a 10-pounder on a bed, it might eat a jig. But one of the ways to get those fish to bite when you're catching them on a shaky head or a Ned rig or a drop shot, and you're catching 1, 2, 3-pounders all day, maybe a couple of 3s, but mostly 2s. And here you are sitting at 12 pounds, and you still got plenty of the tournament left to fish. That's when you want to turn around and maybe start throwing jigs, swim jigs, start throwing swim baits, S-wavers. So there's 2 different kinds. You can throw like a HUD, a bottom swim bait, even like a cheap bottom walker. If you don't have the money to spend, start out with one of them Castaics, right? And you can try that. But, a good swim bait definitely will fish a lot better. And the presentation and the action is everything. But, with a big enough bait, you can catch them, baits, crankbaits, stuff like that is one of my favorite ways to catch them this time of year. If you throw an S-waver, a HUD or something, that's also what I plan on doing a lot more of this year. So I'm going to focus on that. I used to fish Not necessarily with these big swim baits, but I used to fish much more with big old like 5-inch Kitech type swim baits on spinner baits and double bladed Colorado, slow rolling my spinner bait and getting big fish, crankbaits, biggie papas, even the Strike King, the KVD Strike Kings square bills, but jerk baits. I still fish that stuff, but I have a tendency to focus on throwing it primarily at places like the Delta, right? But those lures kill it at regular lakes as well. So it's good. I was shout out to Intuitive Angling with Randy Blaukat. That's one of my favorite channels. Dude's a pro. He's an old timer, and he talks about why most of us suck when we get older, and it's because we start as we've been fishing long enough and you get good enough, you start developing these habits that are not necessarily good and they're hard to break. And you put yourself in boxes and you fish certain lures or techniques stubbornly or more, or you fish too many. Your decision making isn't. It's set in whatever ways it is, so it's not fluid or dynamic anymore. And when you're younger, middle aged, and younger, you tend to experiment more, think more, try different things, modify your lures, throw more lures than you used to. Say, oh, well, I've never used a spinnerbait. Let me pick one up. Oh, I caught a 5-pounder. Right, you catch nice ones on it. And then, oh, I've never used a crankbait. So you fish it for a few months. Then you start catching and get a big old, got a 9-pounder, right? Whatever. And then, oh, I'm not really good at jigs. I haven't thrown many jigs before. Then you get a big fish on a jig, right? And you start conquering each technique and lure, especially the power fishing ones like jerk baits, LV 500s, rattle traps, spinner baits, crank baits, right? Chatter baits. All these different baits catch big fish. And it takes a little bit of confidence to throw them a lot, right? And that starts by you picking that bait up for the first time or first few times and throwing it enough with enough confidence where you would have thrown your worm or whatever your confidence lure was, right? And now you start catching them with this. Or, say you were a spinnerbait fisherman and now you're going to throw a crankbait or vice versa or an S-waver. Just it was a really cool video. And I thought, that's exactly how I feel. And I recognize it. He goes, most fishermen can't overcome it. I'm like, watch me. And it's getting yourself out of that box and not falling to your old habits and stereotypes when it comes to fishing. So I look forward to proving him wrong, hopefully. And I want to get into swim bait fishing and take it seriously and start sticking some monsters for you guys and gals. So we'll see how that goes in the next year. I focus on trying to put out better content, more real content on the lake, more maybe conversations, showing the gear, the breakdown. Not trying to act like I know it all because I don't. I'm learning as are you guys, some of you, and some of you may know a lot more than me. And I'm humble enough to admit and know that. And so when I see something that works better, I absorb it. But I'm happy to share stuff with you guys and gals. So that's what we'll do, is try to focus on sharing the best information while making it fun and educational and entertaining, where, we put smiles on faces, we crack jokes. This isn't a necessarily kid-friendly show, but we try to keep it clean to where kids could watch it. Hey, Mike, nice to see you on tonight. But if that's the state of fishing. Those are my plans. I don't know if I'm going to fish tomorrow or not. It's a lot of money, $400 to most. My son put a video out there. Nothing on that, but it's like, do I or not? Because it's not about the money. The memories would be great. The trip would be awesome, but $400 is a lot of money when it's the spring and I'm an HVAC contractor and I don't have a lot of work. But we got to go. We're going to run. We got to go to the concert I was telling you guys about. So in the meantime, let's get our giveaway over with, and I'm clocking out for the night. So I want any member present, please comment giveaway, and you will be entered into March's giveaway, and we'll do it tonight right now. And I got to go. I was waiting for her to actually come and tell me. So, all right. Please don't keep me waiting. The she wants to leave. So if you guys want to get a shot, okay, we're gonna put Mike in there. This is a quick video tonight. All right. I think what I'm gonna do too is yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I gotta stop by Tackle Warehouse. We'll do that. I don't know if they're open tonight, so I'm gonna have to do that. I might just not go tomorrow. Take care of business and go to Tackle. It got skunked today. That sucks. I've been skunked. I know how it feels. It sucks. James David, it's been tough, hasn't it? Fishing hasn't been easy. Hey, Silvera. Yeah, fishing hasn't been easy. I'm thinking I'm going to give away like a HUD or something like that for this month's giveaway. Something nice for like big fish, you know, because that's what in the spirit of I want to start catching fish on those damn things more often. I just got to pump myself and do it, you know. So yeah, it does suck. Just chilling. Thanks for watching and hanging out tonight. Just hanging out. Trying to give the best, tips that I could. But I got date night with the wife. We're gonna go watch Gabriel, Iglesias, Fluffy, in Stockton. That's her right there. So we got to go. So I think we got all of the members, and if we're missing anybody, Marco, are you still here tonight? I'll just should I throw him in anyways? He was in here. He just didn't. Gonna be getting in Pedro for sure. The BBT's at New Maloney's, and I wanted to. I was thinking about fishing it. All right, babe, we're going right now. Here, I'm doing the giveaway, and then we'll clock out. Boom, bang, bam. Do it again because he was not here. Marco won, but he's not here. I'll take his name out. Hold on, that's not fair. Let me redo it. You got to comment giveaway. I'm giving him like 1 minute more. Didn't even do that. All right. So let's reset this. I don't want her to get mad. All right. So who's here is here. So we're going to go ahead and hit it with the three of you guys. Appreciate your support, by the way, all members. No limit. You're tonight's winner. So thanks for watching, everybody. Go back and rewatch it if you guys want to check out what I was talking about. But try to give a nice little window of tips and tricks. You have the March giveaway. I'm sending all the giveaway stuff out. So I had to go by Tackle Warehouse and get tonight's winner stuff. I've got everybody's stuff bagged up. We just got to drop it off at the post office. So thanks for watching. Tight lines, everybody. Have a good night. And hopefully, Gabriel's going to crack us up. Thanks.
Have the puppies been fed?